Guys, here we are once again with my good buddies Mike Curotto, Bunny Carlos. We've got some interesting things to talk to you about, as it always is. Now, we usually do a thing outside with everybody. This year we're going to have Steve Maxwell, Don Bennett, Mark Cooper, Dave Brown, and these two guys. It's going to be great. Great conversation. But look, here's some things that tie in to Bunny's life in collecting and Mike's. And they're going to tell you all about it, and I'm going to let them go. Guys, what do you want to talk about first?
Mike, for your drums, tell us about, what do we got here?
Well, I think they call it the zebra drum, for obvious reason. The story I've heard is either LEEDY and Ludwig made this for Barnum and Bailey, or Barnum and Bailey saw this at LEEDY and Ludwig, and you know more than I do.
Yeah, this is an on-catalog color, and all the talk about it is pretty much conjecture, but yeah, there is supposedly somebody saw a kit with the circus. There was a kit on eBay that said it was with the circus, missing a tom-tom, and it went, somebody owns it now, I don't know who, and aside from that, there's only been about 6 other drums ever seen, so very well it could have been made for the circus. Having said that, I have a sample drum with it on there, so they offered it. It just didn't get into a catalog. It was probably 1953 or 1954 when LEEDY and Ludwig had ceased to make catalogs, and as some of us know, they sold the names back to other companies in 1955 or 6. So this is a very rare specimen. Only one of this size known. There's only a 4x14 known. There's 2 snare drums known in zebra. And this is the 5-inch model. 8 lugger. The old LEEDY and Ludwig tone control inside to find 90-degree angles that they put on the stuff, and you wonder why it rattles. Good drum. Nice looking drum.
Now, as far as sets, you showed me one year on your phone. You had a zebra. We were calling it the zebra set.
I ran into one other bass drum with this, and one year a guy on drumforum.org came up with a drum set: a 20-inch bass drum, a 12-inch rack tom, a 16-inch floor tom, a 4x14 snare drum. I kept that at home. It's in the Ludwig poster, the club date poster they have, and I'm sure that'll flash on the screen in a minute. You can take a look at it. And this was the extra drum. Mike grew up playing one of these.
Yeah.
He's been bugging me about this thing for years. He wouldn't leave me alone, damn it. And
now, what about the Mark Cooper tie-in to one of these zebra drums?
Okay, Mark Cooper sent me an article Winnie Minsk did of the Dutch Drum Show. And this drum was in there. I got a hold of Winnie and said, "Where'd that drum come from?" He's like, "I don't know, America, some guy named Cooper." I got a hold of Cooper, and I said, "Okay, what's your what do those clowns on American Picker say? What's your crazy number?" I had to give him a crazy number to get the thing. So yeah, that's how I ended up with it. Mike got crazy with me, and it went to Mike. So.
Terrific, as many things usually do, as you guys already know. Mike,
yeah,
what do you got to show us here? This is incredible.
Well, again from the Bunny collection. He got this from Marty Monson about 10 years ago, right?
Marty Monson out of St. Louis.
Yeah. And I always liked it. I don't do marching drums, but this is either October or March of 1936. And it's like a presentation drum. And Nard, Ludwig and LEEDY were big on Nard.
Yes.
And for me, I like little things like that because I have my original Nard cert. I have my teacher's Nard cert. I have my Ludwig pad from 1959.
Yes.
I have my marching sticks. So this will make a nice presentation at my house, and maybe someday a museum I want to open. But for now,
we've talked about that before.
Yeah, and it's all the panels.
This would be called like a full dress deluxe Uber.
But yeah, it's
ultimate full dress finish.
Yeah,
now, Mike, this work that I'm seeing here reminds me of that snare of yours.
Yeah, I know.
Who does that particular design? It looks like the same artisan.
Maybe they're engravers, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Maybe the seam. What a beautiful job on the seam.
Right through the.
It's amazing.
So, yeah, it's just one of those drums that I've always looked at. And oh, you got the key?
Don't have the key.
Okay, no problem. Deal's off.
Came without a key.
Yeah, it's just one of those drums I always liked, and it was available, so we did the deal.
I'm loving the evenness in the patina here on the yellowing. It's not too bad. It's just really mellow.
The drum was in a place of pride in my collection. It was on the top shelf. The people at Ludwig were a bit alarmed that I'd sold it to Mike, and I said, "Look, there's not a better place this could go to than the Curotto collection, which is probably the finest Ludwig snare drum collection known to exist? It is. It's hands down. There's none of this known stuff. It's a beautiful drum, and I went to a beautiful place. You know, I'm glad I went to Mike because I couldn't go to any place better than that to be seen by people and appreciated.
He's building a collection of very meaningful sets, like the Ludwig trilogy that you speak of.
Yeah.
I just, you know, this, you're right, is going to be in a great place.
Yeah, it's a piece of history, you know. I mean,
it is.
A marching drum like this, I just don't collect them, but with all this, it just adds to the...
You know, the guy that won it in 1936 had to be some hotshot if he won this thing.
Right.
Look at this thing.
Absolutely.
Middle of the Depression, full dress.
Now you've got something else new that you acquired.
Oh yeah.
That I'd like to see about that. That's this has been floating around lately here.
I just have photos of it. So
now
is that all right?
We could put up some photos. I'll get some photos, but just for our sake of conversation here, tell them what you've got right here.
Well, that's December 1941 autographs of the stars. And it's marked 4112, so December, you know, so for the guys our age, we know that's up for our parents, that was the Kennedy thing, and for us, you know.
It hit the fan that month, Pearl Harbor.
So this is the Pearl Harbor stuff, you know. And, and this is probably just before that War Act where you had to make 10% metal or whatever.
Yes.
So that's how it came to me. And then through the marvels of science and editing, right?
Wow, look at that.
That's like, I had it cleaned up. You know, some purists would want to keep it the way it was, and I don't agree with that. I mean, I don't disagree with that.
Right.
But I like to clean them up, and that's not replated. That's just I took them up to my plater, and it's called coloring.
Yes, you've mentioned. I've heard you mention that before. It's basically a buffing process.
They just buff it back to the original, you know, with rouge or whatever.
But it's done just enough. Yeah. It's not overdone. That's what I like about when you're working on a piece like this and you overdo it. It just really ruins the whole thing.
On that one, if you want to show them, you know, there's some rust here and there. And I use a quote by a good friend of mine. You know, rust doesn't sleep.
Yes.
So I'm not going to let it stay like that. Not bad.
Now, last year, guys, we showed the autograph of the stars set, remember, against White Marine Pearl. Extremely rare. I've never seen another one, but yet alone to see it with the aqua, this is what you see more in general, but when you see them, it's exciting. I mean, this along with the top hat set. Buns had one of those. I don't know, what'd you do with your top hat set that you had?
Got it home.
You still got it? Okay. These are rare sets by some very fine collectors. These are the top guys. We'll be right back with you guys.